Hello, good evening, and welcome to tonight's special edition of Weekend File. My name is Kirian Umaya, and we thank you for choosing to stay with us tonight. The 2015 Nigerian general election will be the quadrennial election to be held since the end of military rule in 1999. Voters will elect the president, and members of state houses of assembly will also be elected. As Nigerians get set to perform their civic duty, logistics such as the one with the distribution of permanent voter cards has become an issue. It will be recalled that INEC extended the deadline for PVC collection till Sunday, 8th of February, to allow many Nigerians more time to obtain their permanent voter cards. This is in an effort to ensure that many Nigerians are not disenfranchised during the elections. In our program tonight, we will examine the issues building up to the election, especially the voter card distribution across Nigeria, as that will further explain the situation on ground with respect to voter card distribution by INEC. We're glad to have you join us once again. Now, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Atahiru Jega, will anytime from now announce the outcome of the Commission's consultations with stakeholders on whether or not to postpone the dates for the general elections. The INEC chairman is expected to address a world press conference on the issue at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja, which will come on NTA Live. And now move straight to the news of the day as part of Weekend File tonight. To further discuss the issues, let's move to the next story. President Goodluck Jonathan has urged Nigerians to pray for a hitch-free general election and for peace to reign in Nigeria. The president said this at the monthly Holy Ghost service of the Redeemed Christian Church of God at the Redemption Camp. State House correspondent Shegu Laule reports.
While addressing the congregation, the president made it clear that he was not at the Holy Ghost service for electioneering campaign, but to stand in the gap for Nigeria, as all cried unto God for his will to manifest concerning the nation. General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adiboye, during his imputation, dwelt on the storms of life, which are not beyond the powers of God, to be still in the life of individuals and the nation, as he prayed for the president and the nation at large.
We are using our head of state as a point of contact for the whole country of Nigeria. From now, let peace reign supreme. Let that no more violence. During the elections, let there be peace.
Pastor Mrs. Fulu Adeboye, wife of the General Overseer, had earlier led the intercessory prayers for God to turn around the country's situation and challenges for good. From the redemption camp, Segun Lawale, Nta News.
While in Lagos, President Jonathan also visited the headquarters of the Lord's Choosing Charismatic Revival Ministry at Ijesha area of Lagos State, where he again assured Nigerians that his administration is working hard to protect Nigerians and improve the economy. State House correspondent Segun Lawale again reports.
President Jonathan, while addressing the church, enjoined Nigerians to continue with the intercessory prayers for the unity and stability of the country. His administration, he noted, has been working hard in close collaboration with neighboring countries to bring to an end the evil of Boko Haram and terror in the land. He said, but for their prayers, the situation would have been worse.
We can only promise you that we'll work hard as a government to protect all the people, to improve our economy so that people will be able to survive. Young men and women will be able to get jobs. And these distractions from insecurity will end.
The General Overseer of the Lord's Chosen Charismatic Revival Movement, Pastor Lazarus Moka, led the prayers as he asked God to intervene in the affairs of the nation and for the leadership to enjoy sound health, and more importantly, for God's will to be done in the life of Nigeria.
Pray there shall be peace before this coming election. We pray that even after the election, let there be peace.
In Lagos, Segun Lawale, Nta News.
The primate of all Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, Nicholas Oko, says the unity of the country cannot be compromised at the altar of political and religious differences in this period of transition. He said this at the Standing Committee meeting of Anglican Synod held at the Ughelli Diocese. Ngozi Obunna was there for us.
Most Reverend Nicholas Oko says Nigerians should protect their common identity, which is the nation. He added that the country might have different political parties, ideologies, personal or corporate interests, but the unity of the nation should be most paramount.
To assess ourselves, notice where we have not done well and where we have done well. What Nigerians should expect is the strengthening of our country.
The Minister of Power, Venerable Chinedu Nebo, presented a lecture on the role of the church in national development.
Especially on the best ways to propagate the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ, to increase missionary activities, and to bring succor to those who are in need in our country.
We are, by the grace of God, will now counsel Nigerians on things that happen around us and how we can together hold our fort.
Nigeria is going to be peaceful.
That in this time around, God expects us to be on alert in prayer. We should watch and pray.
The theme of the Standing Committee of the Church of Nigerian Anglican Communion is Watch and Pray. In Ughelli, Ngozi Obunna, NTA News.
The presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress ADC, Mani Ibrahim Ahmad, says he will address the problems of education and infrastructure if voted into power. He said this when he visited Zuba as part of his political campaign. Olainkujo was there.
The first port of call for the ADC presidential candidate Mani Ahmed is the Agora of Zuba Palace, where he paid homage to His Royal Highness Muhammad Bello Umar. Mani Ahmed says his grassroots campaign style is designed to see firsthand the challenges of people in the rural areas so as to provide solutions to them.
My coming here is to tell them that if I find myself in government, Zuba Here, and in the city of Zuba, will be no different from any other place in the Federal Capital Territory. We will, to a very large extent, go back to the original master plan and see to the development of satellite towns.
While appealing to youths to shun all forms of social vices and ensure that peace is entrenched in the country, the ADC presidential candidate observed that if the abundant human and capital resources in the nation are harnessed, the Nigeria of our dreams will be achieved. In Abuja, Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
Construction work has commenced on the Section 2 of the Suleja Mina Road project. The Minister of Works, Mike Ondolememen, flagged off the project, which has 48 months completion period. Works correspondent Ismail Musa has more.
The Suleja Mina Road is a critical route linking parts of the northwest zone of the country to the Federal Capital Territory. With increased traffic on the road constructed in the 70s, the federal government awarded the project for the dualization of the Section 1 in 2010. With work on the Section 1 of this project at about 70% completion and the flag off of the Section 2 of this busy route, motorists plying this road say their joy knows no bounds.
Many people didn't expect that the project is going to see the light of the day.
One of the best things that would happen to us at this time is this project, because we never even envisaged that the second phase is going to be awarded.
The scope of the 23 billion naira Section 2 of the project that spans from kilometer 40 in Gadam village to Mina, a distance of 55 kilometers, involves the construction of additional carriageway to Mina and the reconstruction of the existing road to align with the new one.
The completion of the entire Suleja Mina Road dualization project, the road will play a vital role in reducing the pressure on the Federal Capital Territory and cost of rental properties.
The project, the minister said, is in line with the determination of the federal government to link major cities with dual carriageways. Ismail Musa, NTA News.
The National Examinations Council, NECO, has released the 2014 November-December Senior School Certificate Examination result with about 31% pass at credit level and recording low level of examination malpractice. Announcing the release, NECO Registrar and Chief Executive Professor Promise Obala attributed the improvement in the last 4 years to the President Goodluck Jonathan's efforts at reversing the downward trend in the nation's education sector. Bruce Gia reports.
The comparative analysis of the NECO external SSC results over the past 4 years as it affects English language and mathematics, as well as candidates who had 5 credits and above, could best be described as on improvement trend. Candidates' performance in English language in SSC external improved from 10% in 2011 to 53% in 2014. While that of mathematics moved from 45% in 2011 to 55% in 2014.
When it was not good, we reported it, and Nigerians shouted, and we were consistent, and that led to the clarion call, and that led to stakeholders, particularly the Federal Ministry of Education and the President, to rally around the education. That is the result I think we are beginning to see.
The NECO registrar, who announced that a total of 620 candidates were involved in malpractice at national level, called on Nigerians to support the laudable efforts of stakeholders and ensure sustainability of high-quality teaching and learning process in schools. In Mina, Rose Gia, NTA News.
The federal government policy on online procurement of farm inputs has been applauded as the best towards promoting agriculture and food security in the country. A cross-section of farmers in Adamawa State said this at the flag-off of distribution of improved seeds and fertilizer for dry season farming in southern zone of the state. Correspondent Abubakar Haman reports.
Worried by the sharp practices associated with the old method of assessing farm inputs and implemented by farmers in the country, President Goodluck Jonathan last year resolved to adopt new measures to ease the difficulties and enhance guaranteed and effective deliveries to farmers with a view to boosting both production and profitability of farming practice. These measures include the introduction of farmers' registration centers and redemption centers, where all registered farmers can have access to all their farming requirements with vital information sent to their mobile phones to prompt them to action. the Adamawa State Director, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Walia Hamman, the Adamawa State Commissioner for Agriculture, Patricia Yakubu, the Chairman Agro-Allied Dealers Association, and the Chairman Fadama Farmers Association, Alhaji Maikano Tafida, while monitoring the flag-off of the procurement process at the redemption centers in Numan and Demsa local governments, described the exercise as successful and fruitful.
The encouragement is really emphasizing more on the inputs they are really putting on the farm.
We are appealing to the federal government and the state government to continue with this type of program.
The team also inspected dry season farms under the program in Demsa and Numan local governments in Adamawa State. In Yola, Abubakar Hamman, NTA News.
The National Union of Pensioners took to the streets of Port Harcourt, to Government House, Port Harcourt, to protest the non-payment of their pension and the harmonization of pensions since 2003, valued at 3 billion naira. Kingsley Amajli completes the story.
The pensioners who marched through Aba Road, Azikiwe Road, to the State Secretariat with placards went to the Ministry of Finance and thereafter to the office of the head of service. After waiting without anybody coming out to address them, the pensioners headed to Government House, Port Harcourt. The chairman of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners, Edward Festus Abibo, said over 11,000 of them are owed their allowances, stressing that over 3 billion naira pension harmonization arrears is yet to be settled. The pensioners urged the State Civil Service Union and the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, to join them in the struggle.
We had equally cried out 2 previous peaceful public demonstrations and submitted written detailed letters to Government House, Port Harcourt, over our pension problem, but all our actions and appeal yielded no result.
At the gate of Government House, Port Harcourt, the Permanent Secretary, Government House, Fortune Oguru, who addressed the pensioners, apologized for the delay, pledging to convey their message to the state government.
It is shocking. I don't know what to tell you. All that I'm saying is that we will see what we can do.
The 3 billion naira pension harmonization arrears accumulated from 2003 to date. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
The vice presidential debate organized by the Nigerian Elections Debate Group, NEDG, has generated more expectations from Nigerians. Debola Brooksland Sunday sampled the opinions of some Nigerians.
The debate, which has 10 political parties' vice presidential candidates in attendance, has come and gone, but Nigerians express the hope that the presidential debate will help Nigerians make informed choices.
We expect a vibrant discussion. We expect a robust, debate on issues that will affect Nigerians.
I'd like to see a robust debate. I'd like to see the candidates setting out their qualifications for the office, setting out their plans if they are to get elected, identifying the real issues that concern Nigerians, and proposing a way forward. That's what I'd really like to see.
I'd like them to tell us what they're going to do about those people's aspirations. What plans do they have in place, and what people should expect from their government if voted in.
For Ochive Ibuzo, strategies for more reforms in the public service will be his area of interest.
Because whatever promise you make, if there is no efficient, effective, responsive, transparent and accountable public service, you will not be able to achieve.
The presidential debate has been slated for the 8th of February 2015, and all the 14 political parties that fielded presidential candidates are expected to participate. In Abuja, Adebola Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
The Nigerian Election Debate Group says all is set for the 2015 presidential debate. Debola Brooksland Sunday again was at the International Conference Center venue of the event and reports that the technical support group of the group is putting finishing touches.
Members of the group were at the venue to assess the level of preparation and to ensure that nothing is left to chance by the technical units. Consultant to the group, Taiwo Alimi, says all the political parties expected have assured the group of their willingness to participate.
debates by the Nigerian Elections Debates Group. It's going on as planned, and all is set 3 sessions at a row. Through election debates by any DG, we are strengthening the democratic process. We are deepening democracy in Nigeria.
You should expect these candidates to answer questions ranging from the economy to to health, to politics, to the environment. I mean, all ramifications, every item, every issue that bothers the Nigerian citizen.
Of the aesthetics that you can ever see on television broadcasting, especially the sets, the warm lights, and we want to turn this whole place into an arena, a studio-like presentation for the Nigerians, so that the debate will be robust.
The debate is expected to be in 3 sessions of 12 to 2 p.m., 3 to 5 p.m., and 7 to 9 p.m. Nigerian time. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.
3 top-brand power generating sets have been introduced into the Nigerian market. They are Elemax SV2800, SV3300, and SV6500. Amechi Piles reports that they are the latest on the value series of the Elemax brand.
So the new power generators have unique features aimed at giving consumers value for their money. The Elemax Value Series, he said, have XV alternator, electric key starter, large fuel tank, and has the capacity to run for over 12 hours.
The ES Series is a generator that you can use for over 10 years or more. And here we have an improvement on that generator. The VS Series is very durable. It's a generator we expect to last you for decades.
He said the generators have been designed to meet the needs of consumers.
Elemax is known for quality. Sawafuji is a high quality company, so it's very durable and very reliable. Anybody using Elemax will tell you that all you need to do is change the plug or just change the oil. That's all you do.
An alternator that has air cooled, that is air cooled with a better design of air cooling, so that it can run for 12 to 15 hours non-stop without damage to the installation, without causing fire or having a problem.
Elemax is an original brand of generator manufactured by Sawafuji Electrical Company Limited in Japan. In Lagos, Amechi Pius, NTA News.
Emir Muhammadu Sanusi II has formally been installed as the 57th ruler of Kano. At a coronation ceremony, the Emir took oath of office and was presented with the staff of office by Governor Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. Abdullahi Mustafa has that report.
Alhaji Muhammad Sanusi II ascended the throne of Kano Emirate on the 8th of June 2014 following the passing away of his predecessor Alhaji Ado Bayero. Although he had assumed office soon after his appointment, what was not in the possession of the Emir among the royal paraphernalia is the staff of office. Its presentation was what brought together traditional rulers from within and outside Nigeria, 3 former heads of state, Generals Yakubu Gawan, Muhammadu Buhari and Ibrahim Babangida, state governors, diplomats, heads of security agencies, and members of the business community in Kano. After he was administered the oath by the Chief Imam of Kano, Professor Sani Zahraddin, Governor Rabi Musa Kwankwaso presented him with the staff of office. With this, Alhaji Muhammad Sanusi became the 57th ruler of Kano and 14th in the Fulani dynasty. The Emir expressed gratitude to God for the opportunity and pledged to discharge his duties with justice and fairness, as was done by his predecessor, late Alhaji Ado Bayero. Governor Rabi Musa Kwankwaso restated that the appointment of Alhaji Muhammad Sanusi II was based on his qualities and capabilities. He said within the last 6 months, the Emir has justified the confidence reposed in him. People of Kano and other guests at the ceremony described the coronation as a memorable one for being the first in more than 50 years. High point of the event was a special durbar where the Emir led other traditional title holders in the display of horsemanship and royal regalia. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
With a quoted figure of 65.8% of registered voters in possession of their permanent voter cards, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for the second time extended the deadline for the collection of PVCs to the 8th of February, which is just tomorrow. How has that assisted in the entire exercise, and what other issues are at stake? These and more when we return. You're watching Weekend File on the Nta Network service.
I beg all fellow Nigerians, help me appeal to the head of state. If our mother is killed, there will be no other hope for us in the world.
Gloria Iyama, just 11. She and her sister Patience, 2 daughters from a proud, hard-working woman of Nigeria. A single mother, Gladys Iyama, taken from her daughters too soon.
Please, Daddy Buhari, please.
Unfairly tried by General Buhari, heartlessly put to death. 2 girls orphaned by a man who knows no mercy. General Buhari took their mother, took her voice. Make your voice heard. On February 14th, vote no to dictatorship. No to the man who shows no mercy. Vote for justice and compassion. Vote Goodluck Ebele Jonathan.
Embracing life to the full means coming into contact with germs,
feeling brightly energized,
which could mean facing some unexpected moments.
Feeling brightly energized.
Even family fun time is no sweat at all. That's because I use Dettol Re-Energize. It protects me and my family from everyday germs. With bursts of orange citrus, I end my day the way I started. Re-Energize.
Jonathan, you are the man, no, you be cool. Jonathan, you are the man, no, now you be cool. Good luck, Jonathan, you are the man, no, you want me, oh, Jare, Jonathan, you are the man, no, you want me, oh, Jare.
Maza, 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 oya, 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 osiso, osiso, osiso.
This is a call to one and all. It is to a better life for all. Better life for mama, papa. Better life for brother, sister. Better life for big king. No, gonna answer the call. Jonathan, you are the man, no. Now you be cool. Jonathan, you are the man, no. Now you be cool. Good luck, Jonathan, you are the man, no. You want me, oh, Jare. Jonathan, you are the man, no. You want me, oh, Jare.
Want your bathroom to dazzle? Give your toilet the Hypo treatment to brighten and also kill germs, so your bathroom stays disinfected and squeaky clean.
Under Goodluck Jonathan, electricity output has doubled.
Under Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, over 20,000 kilometers of new roads have been built.
Under Goodluck, we've laid the foundation for a better future.
Under Goodluck Jonathan, the railways have been upgraded, and now 3 million more Nigerians are traveling by the rail.
Under Goodluck, Nigeria is going forward.
Vote Goodluck.
The Dettol and Ministry of Health team is visiting schools to teach children how to protect themselves from diseases.
Do you know what germs are? They are tiny, harmful, living things that you pick up from dirty surfaces. These germs can make you ill and prevent you from doing all the things you like to do with friends. That's why you need to fight them by washing your hands regularly with Dettol soap.
Mom, today we learned how to fight germs with Dettol soap.
When I thirsty. It tasting good. It tasting good. Yogurt break time.
When I'm hungry, when I'm thirsty.
Hollandia, yogurt waiter. When I'm hungry, when I'm thirsty. Oh, yeah, 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 yo. Oh,
Hollandia yogurt, available in strawberry, plain, and pineapple coconut.
After years of slumber, Nigeria is on the move again. Our Greek sector is flourishing again. Transport systems are being upgraded. And young people are reaching heights they could previously only dream about. Now that we have reclaimed our place as Africa's largest economy, surely we are headed in the right direction. For this man under whose leadership these milestones have been achieved, it is only the beginning. The beginning of bigger, life-changing things to come. Vote to finish what we've started, Nigeria. Vote Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan in 2015 and live to see the Nigeria we always dreamed about.
Every time you get on the pitch, nothing feels better than giving 100%. When you hear the sound of thousands of our fans roaring, you just have to. And for us, nothing's better than Chivita 100%. With 100% goodness and 100% satisfaction. Go all the way with 100% or nothing. Chivita 100%. 100% or nothing.
President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, no president don't do reach you for we farmers. In short, you be real farmers president. Now you end the over 40 years of Ururu on top fertilizer matter. Now you give us farmers deliver to be proud again for Nigeria. For the first time, women farmers will just stretch hand, collect fertilizer and seed. Now we fit even farm during dry season for not. Uncountable farmers, they receive high yielding seed free. Because of you, thousands of our young people then come green say agriculture now correct road to prosperity. After 4 years, all Nigerian farmers want to say thank you, President Goodluck Jonathan. Thank you as you change farmers' life for better. Thank you for our children bright future. We the farmers don't crown you farmers president of Nigeria. You don't do us well. Now our turn to do you better too. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, the farmers president, confirm.
Thanks for staying with us up to this moment. The 2015 general election is one election that comes with its innovation and generating a lot of interest. The issue of distribution of the permanent voter cards, the use of the card reader machine, and the timing of the election continue to attract national discourse. In this background report, correspondent Abdullahi Garba Binenkudu examines the issues.
There is need for the more than 68 million registered voters to be properly educated on why they go out to vote, how to vote, and where to vote.
So, for us to avoid any problem, so it's going to be all over again. Everybody is going to be what? Accredited. Later, you stay behind for the what? Election.
I'm comfortable the way the election should go. And I have my PVC cards.
Well, I think we need more education.
Yoruba say, nothing concerns me. I've registered. That very day they are voting, I voted. They are not voting.
Partly, the electoral umpire is saddled with this responsibility of voter education. The commission, which has in existence in its structure Department of Voter Education and Publicity, has been up and doing in this task of educating voters on this civic responsibility. The level of education amongst these voters necessitated the need to enlighten them, especially on handling of the ballot papers itself.
Doing our best to let people know that, of course, when you handle the ballot paper, there are things you do to the ballot paper. Number one, you have to thumbprint the right way.
Comparatively, the level of awareness among Nigeria's electors has risen. This may not be unconnected with the efforts of all stakeholders involved in the process.
Very key. As I told you, we've already divided ourselves into zones. All the chairmen and leaders of the political party will go into these zones to popularize the code of conduct, to educate the electorate as their performance, what they ought to do.
The level of education of our population and the level of exposure is partly responsible for the high turnout of invalid votes during elections. And as a party, we are doing all we can to ensure that our supporters vote us validly.
The politicians, though, are doing their best in this direction. There is need to do more so that Nigeria will continue to have smooth electoral process. Election, political observers believe, is a collective responsibility. Hence, voter education should be handled by all as Nigeria's electoral process continues to improve and democracy thrives. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Kudu, NTA News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission in Lagos State says 2.6 million permanent voter cards have been collected in the ongoing distribution exercise. Olajide Bello in this report takes a look at the extension of deadline for distribution and collection of PVCs in the state.
President Electoral Commissioner in Lagos, Akin Orebiyi, said the extension of the deadline for collection of permanent voter cards is part of measures geared towards enabling eligible voters to cast their ballots. Akin Orebiyi disclosed that a total of 2.6 million permanent voter cards have been distributed and urged Lagosians to make judicious use of the extension to collect the remaining permanent voter cards.
My own estimation is that, let's even say, 50 people are able to collect at each of the polling units, and if 50 collect at 8,000 polling units per day, you're speaking of 400,000, and in 3 days you're speaking of 1.2 million. By the time you add that to the number that have collected, you're talking about 4 million.
On security during the election, he said an action committee has been put in place.
I must also thank the security agencies in this regard. We've put in place since 2011 a committee, the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security Access, which is at national level and also replicated at the state and local government levels across the country. We meet regularly to agree on strategies to also plan for ensuring security.
A visit to the All Saints Primary School and Oyadin Ward 8 revealed that although the rush had reduced, electorates comment on the extension of deadline by INEC.
Because a lot of people want to vote, but they don't really have that much time to spare to keep going on and on and on searching for PVCs. I think the extension is reasonable.
I think it's a good thing. I think if it's possible to extend it all the way till the eve of the elections, it will even be better.
Meanwhile, INEC has reaffirmed its determination to make the 2015 elections free, fair and credible. In Lagos, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
To complement the efforts of the National Independent Electoral Commission in the issuance of permanent voter cards, Kano State Government declared Friday work-free day to enable eligible voters who are yet to collect their PVCs to do so before the election. Correspondent Elizabeth Iyela Imudo, who visited some collection centers in Kano Metropolis, sent in this situation report.
The issuance of permanent voter cards is ongoing in Kano State, with over 3 million cards collected and over 400,000 still with INEC. However, during a visit to some collection centers within Kano Metropolis, NTA observed the absence of the distribution personnel, while in other centers, people complained of not getting the permanent voter card.
This is my peeps coming to this school, but I couldn't see anybody.
I came here very early, around 7 o'clock. I was here waiting. In fact, the staff were not even around. They came very late. Unfortunately, now they brought out my temporary card that is not ready.
To be fair, I've not been coming. But somebody saw my own and brought it for me.
For the past 1 week, but I could not collect. If you come, they will tell us, come tomorrow, go to your ward, go to your polling station. The fault is for me. I lost my temporary card, so I couldn't find it up to now. So they said I should listen to my name. They will start from the beginning.
Since in the morning till date, number of cards that are taken in, at least 100 cards in, we are only receiving 4. 3. So the remaining ones, where are we going to get it to? And look at the date between now and the day of election.
Kano State President Electoral Commissioner Nta Abdullahi denied knowledge of the absence of his personnel at some of the centers in the state.
We have authorized the local government electoral officers to ensure that each distribution center is open from 8:30 in the morning up to 5:30 in the evening. For them to collect is another thing altogether. But then, as for the commission, our commitment is to make sure that whoever might have registered with the commission, his card is made available.
Over 90% of permanent voter cards, PVCs, have been distributed and collected in Edo State. The resident electoral commissioner, Mr. Mike Igini, said this in Benin while commenting on the extension of the deadline for the distribution and collection of PVC by INEC. Obehi Otubo Paras reports, however, that some concerned citizens are asking INEC to provide more personnel to make the process faster.
78 PVCs have been collected so far, with the leftover of 300,000 PVCs yet to be collected, belonging to either the dead, the imprisoned, or people that have traveled out of the state.
If today we have collected or given out and we have in possession of Edo State people over 1 million permanent voters card, our challenge will be how do we move out these people to come out on election day to come and vote.
Some of the respondents who commended INEC for the extension said the process of collecting the PVC is now less tedious. Others, however, complained that the process is still trailed with challenges.
Yes, I've collected mine. The process, because it's in a very small area, in a village, it was not all that too tedious.
I'm transferred from Niger State to Edo State. So due to the registration, I met them. I duly registered with them, and they gave me a temporary voter's card. That's the TVC. So, but they said they are going to send it from Abuja. So I've been going there. Even as yesterday, I went to my police station unit. They said it has not come. And the closing day is on the 8th, and that is Sunday. So I don't know when I'm going to get it. So it means that if I didn't get it, I cannot vote.
A lot of people in my area, they've not collected. Even going to the school there, the crowd is too much, and the people they put there to work, they are not even ready to give us the card.
The short time they gave during the first time of collection, so it made it hectic for people to collect their PVC.
INEC extended the deadline for the distribution and collection of PVCs from the 31st of January to the 8th of February 2015. In Benin, Obehi Otubo Paras, NTA News.
More prospective voters in Benue State have collected their permanent voter cards in the 2015 general elections. This followed the resolve by INEC in the state to ensure distribution of all PVCs to the owners before the elections. Joseph Osing monitored the development and filed in this report.
Within few days, Nigerians across the country will be going to the polls to vote for candidates of their choice in the 2015 general elections. Following the decentralization of the distribution of permanent voter cards from INEC offices to include ward levels recently, the Commission in Benue State has estimated that 76% of voter cards belonging to over 1.6 million prospective voters who registered in 2011 are distributed between May 2014 and January 2015.
About 1.35 million has been collected by their owners. We wish we could reach 80%.
Within a short period, they've just offered me this one, so I'm grateful. INEC has done well.
I feel this is the best process because with this, you holding your PVC, it will enable you to vote.
Unfortunately, INEC in Benue State has declared that the state has the highest number of zero polling units in the country, with 659 zero polling units where PVCs were not distributed. This has left many prospective voters who are determined to vote in the 2015 general elections frustrated, as many of them re-registered in 2014, but their cards were not ready after visiting their distribution centers on several occasions.
The third times I came here, they say fingerprint.
which you can fingerprint.
Are we not going to be disenfranchised?
INEC, however, kept appealing to the affected people to remain patient with the Commission, as it is doing everything possible to produce their cards before the elections. Recently, the Commission in Benue State says it has received 332,000 continuous voter registration cards for 2014.
For the 0 polling unit cards, we send them actually to the polling units. For the others, we kept them at the vote collection centers.
At the INEC stakeholders meeting held in Makudi, the Commission demonstrated the newly introduced voter card reader, which will be used for accreditation before voting. In Makudi, Joseph Oteng, NTA News.
You are still watching Weekend File on the network service of the NTA. Our guests will be joining us after this break. Don't go away.
From the north to the south, from the east to the west, there's a sound all around, a mighty voice to be heard. Everybody's crying out. Can you hear the mighty shout? It's a call from the Fatherland for the man who is right. Good luck to nation.
A tribe that rules has solid rules.
Rule number 1, friends stay close. Friends in the tribe, stay closer. Feel me?
Rule number 2, in the tribe, you always know what's up with Facebook, WhatsApp, BB, and Twitter. Guess what? It's free.
Rule number 3, there are no rules with SMS. It's endless. Yes, boss.
Rule number 4, enjoy very long conversations with a special someone.
Enjoy endless connections to your friends in Airtel Tribe with free calls, free WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, and BBM. You also enjoy up to 200% bonus on your recharges to call all networks. Migrate now by dialing *312# on Start to Life. Endless connections. Airtel Tribe.
Wow, what a great beach! Look, other kids have also discovered it. Who owns this place? A Capri check. Put a straw in and let the tasty Capri Sun decide. And now the beach belongs to everyone. My kids are explorers. They love Capri Sun. Capri Sun provides them great taste, lots of energy and fun. Now, new exciting tropical flavor is also available for even more fun. Capri Sun, naturally fun. House of Cheese.
Again. Every other person, they're wasting time. Dona, I him be our man. No, yeah, everybody vote for. Everybody vote for. Better tomorrow. For unity and progress. Everybody vote for Dona. Vote for Dona. Vote for Dona. Vote PDP 2015.
This message was brought to you by the Media and Publicity Directorate of the PDP campaign organization.
Does your husband shed need some whitening? Just use a little drink of water with jig, mercury, and lemon. Your cleaning troubles are over. Is there a technical stain that's frightening? Or a money mess left by your daughter? Is your scalp looking so shiny? Or your bra as dirty as pepper? Judge it! Mercury and lemon. Judge it! It makes cleaning a joy. Judge it! Hey, you better go get it! Judge it! Now available in lemon and potpourri fragrances, the
the newest and freshest way to jig it. My mom told me great acting needed good health. I've played so many roles in life, but my proudest role is mother to my children and my community projects. I've achieved all this thanks to good health every day with Dettol. And to be 100% sure that my children achieve success in their life, I trust Dettol, so they don't miss a single day of good health.
Dettol, proudly part of Nigerian health for 50 years.
Immediately following the 2011 presidential election, the supporters of the opposition candidate of the Congress for Progressive Change, CPC, General Muhammadu Buhari, took to the streets in protest of Jonathan's victory. Violence erupted in the north and in the middle belt states, directed towards local grievances and political targets, resulting in loss of lives, property damage, and restriction of movement.